Hey everybody, it's Bunny, and I was wanting to talk today about anger, and actually a situation occurred that's been kind of building, and so today is a great day to talk about anger because I'm really, really, really angry. And I spent some time today with a friend of mine who, when I met her, um, she was very angry. She was angry all the time. Everything made her angry, and I remembered a time in my life when I was like that, when I was angry and everything seemed to make me angry, and I sort of got over it. I read a book that helped, and what I learned from that book was that when I would get angry, I would think, okay, let's examine the situation that's made me angry. Why did it make me angry? And what would it take to make me feel better about the situation? And that helped quite a bit. That did help quite a bit. But then, with time and self awareness, I came to realize that for me, anger is just like the indicator light when my car is about to run out of gas. It's just an indicator. And if I stop when I feel angry and I think about it, anger is just a signal that, let's say, somebody has done something to make me feel disrespected or has done something to make me feel shame or has done something to make me feel embarrassed. It's always an indicator of another feeling, a deeper feeling, something else that I can work on, something something else, because anger itself for me is just the warning. I'm angry, and then I think, what's making me so angry? Now lately there's been several situations with the same person that I've just been kind of shoving under the rug, shoving under the rug, shoving under the rug. And so my level has been raising of stress. And so let me see if I can say this right. So it's easier, it's like a cup of coffee. Because there's so much stress already there, it's so much easier for it to fill over and spill out into anger. And so littler things are making me angry that normally wouldn't make me angry. And it's because I've got this stress pot stewing. And so it is finally going to come to a head today. I'm going to resolve the issue, and a friend of mine that you know, Holly, has been telling me you have to state your feelings. You have to state your feelings. I don't like confrontation. I don't like a situation where people are going to get upset. I just don't like that. I don't like upsetting people. I don't like having to any kind of confrontation. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I think that people should know how to behave around me, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, but I try to give small indicators. If I'm not happy, I usually get kind of quiet, or you can usually tell by my face. Usually you can tell by my actions. If I get really angry, it's apparently very noticeable, or at least I've heard that. But this person is not particularly getting it. And so I'm going to finally have to state, just like Holly said, I'm going to have to state how I'm feeling because their behavior is making me crazy. And we're in a situation where I have to deal with this person on a daily basis. And it's just making me nuts. So I've thought about it, and I've tried to come to a resolution, and I'm going to state how I feel and my options for remedying the things that are bothering me. And then, of course, once I state my side, I will have to be willing to listen to the other person's side, and then see what they have to say about it. But I just know that it cannot continue. It cannot continue like it is, because it is absolutely driving me crazy. I feel stressed. I'm irritable. I'm angry. I'm easy to anger with other people, and other situations. I don't believe in displaced aggression. I'm not taking it out on other people. I just know that I'm much more irritable around other people than I usually am, and situations that normally wouldn't bother me are beginning to bother me and wear on me, because I'm carrying around that little bucket of stress all the time, and I can't continue to do that. I can't, for my sense of well-being, I cannot continue to carry around that bucket of disharmony. I cannot live with that much disharmony and still live a peaceful life. And so, to get rid of that disharmony and attempt to have a peaceful life, I am going to have to face a confrontation. And I hate that. And I've been putting it off, and I've been putting it off. And it's finally come to the point that I can no longer put it off. I mean, I possibly could put it off, but putting it off is pretty much not an option anymore. I have to deal with it, and I've got a good opportunity, and there's going to be a time when we are alone, and I will be able to just state my feelings. And the good thing is that I have several hours between now and then, so I won't be at a heightened emotional state. I will be a little calmer and a little more level-headed. I will have had time to think it out, and I will be able to state, hopefully, clearly and effectively, what the problem is, what I feel like my needs are, and what my resolution for the situation is. I heard once that if you complain and you don't offer a solution, then you're just whining. So I have a solution laid out, and so I plan on clearly defining what the problem is, again, what my solution is, and I'm going to base it on how it's making me feel. And then after that, I will have to be willing to listen to the other side of it, and we'll see what comes of that. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a big cat fight. But I don't think that it will. I don't think that it'll be a big cat fight. I don't see that happening, because I'm not a big cat fight person. I don't usually get into cat fights. So we'll just see how that goes, and that's my thing about anger. It's that usually it's triggered by some other underlying feeling, and it's a warning sign. Hey, you've been disrespected, or hey, you've been encroached upon, or hey, your boundaries have been violated, or hey, you're being mistreated, or something like that. It's always, for me, some other thing that's going on, some other thing. And anger is the feeling that comes up as a signal. Hey, pay attention. You've been this thing. You've been neglected, or you've been pushed aside, or you've been, whatever it happens to be. And if I will stop, now, usually at the very moment that I feel the anger, I can't do that. It takes a few minutes. But if I will let the anger subside, and I will think, okay, what just happened? And that's usually why a lot of times when I'm so angry, I usually don't think of the right things to say. I usually don't respond the way I want to. It's always later that I think, why didn't I say blah, 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 blah? Or why didn't I do this, that, or the other thing? It's because in that moment of anger, I'm in my emotional mind. And it takes about 10 minutes, I think, for me to get into rational mind. When my rational mind takes over and thinks, okay, here's the situation. What should we do about it? And then I can think logically again, because my emotional mind and my rational mind do not speak to each other. And emotional mind takes over, and it's like fight or flight, and it's like rah, 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 rah. But if I will wait, if I can wait about 10 minutes and it calms down, then rational mind comes in and takes over and says, okay, here's the situation. What should we do about it? So I've learned, especially in dealing with people, the best thing for me is when I get in a heightened situation, if it is at all possible, I say, you know what? Let me think about this just a minute and let me get back to you. And I do so much better when I do that. If I'm able to say, give me just a minute, let me think about this, and I'll get back to you. Because then I come up with something that makes a lot more sense. I don't just spout off some kind of craziness that sometimes I have been known to do on rare occasion. A lot less rare than I would like it to be. It makes a lot more sense. And it usually is much more effective. I have found that when I'm calm and rational and speak my mind, it has a much better effect than when I'm just wild and screaming stuff and saying the crazy stuff that I'm sometimes able to say when I'm in emotional mind. And I don't make the crazy thoughts and decisions that I do in rational mind that I do when I'm in emotional mind. Rational mind is a much better, safer place for me to be than when I'm in emotional mind, because emotional mind just gets kind of out there. And I know that everybody has an emotional mind and everybody has a rational mind, so I'm hoping that you all can understand what I'm talking about. But for me, when I get angry, it's pure emotional mind. And I need to live more in a place of rational mind for peace. And so that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to let emotional mind rest a little while, take a breather. I'm going to let rational mind, like I have, I've thought about it and I've come up with my game plan and see how that works out. Now, if in the heat of the moment things start getting kind of carried away, then I'm going to have to pull back again and do my, you know what, I've listened to you, and I will listen to the other person, and I'll say, okay, I've listened to you. If I start feeling myself get carried away again, and let me think about this, and we'll get together again later and come up with another solution. Because again, I cannot think clearly when I'm in emotional mind, and emotional mind is who takes over when I get angry. So this is my talk about anger and emotional mind and how anger fits into my life. I hope that some of you can relate, and if you want to leave comments or feedback, that would be great. I would love to hear how you deal with anger and emotional mind and rational mind. That'd be great. So I'll see you next time, and when I get a chance, I'll update you on how this all worked out. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.